Do not let anybody tell you that you have to look a certain way or do a certain thing to be considered fit and healthy. If you have ever struggled with your health and fitness goals and staying consistent, this is the video for you. Well, hello there, welcome back, and Happy New Year. This is my first video of 2025. I'm so happy that you are here, and we are going to dive into a topic that I know is it's very near and dear to my heart, and it is something that a lot of folks are focusing on, especially with the new year, and that is health and fitness and just becoming the healthiest version of yourself. I know that it can be super overwhelming in the new year. You're inundated with all of these diets and supplements and coaches and just a lot of information out there. And at the end of the day, you just really want to become the healthiest version of yourself. You want to create sustainable long-term habits. You want this to be the last time that you start a diet ever again. And listen, I have been there. I have been a fitness and nutrition coach and personal trainer for about 5 years now. I actually started my fitness journey, almost 10 years now, 10 years ago. And I can tell you that when I first started, I was overwhelmed. I didn't have a whole lot of support in the sense of like a coach or anybody that I had hired or was working with. I'd go to the gym and I would walk on the treadmill for maybe a mile. I'd kind of walk around the gym. I'd get intimidated. If you know anything about the gyms, sometimes there's like a guys only weight section that I would never go into. And I kind of just dabbled into different things. And then my nutrition, I didn't really know what protein was or anything. And all to say, I was kind of lost for a little bit, and it can be very lonely and very overwhelming. And I understand disheartening, and I understand why folks fall off. This video is meant to really help you create sustainable, take away some actionable, tangible things that you can implement this year, whether you hire a coach or not, to reach those health and fitness goals. Because let's face it, everyone deserves to feel their best, to have confidence in the way that they look, and to have the energy to play with their kids or to go and do the things that they want to do, right? Everyone deserves that. So having these tangible, actionable things you can implement will be really, really helpful. I want to take a step back and quickly go over what I think are the 3 reasons, what I know to be the 3 reasons that folks fall off and, kind of have a pitfall when it comes to their health and fitness journeys and have started and stopped, okay? And to no fault of your own, having unrealistic expectations, right? Nowadays, there are diet pills promising you that you'll lose 30 pounds in a week, There are, injections and fad diets and coaches and all this stuff promising you the world in such a short amount of time. But if you take a step back and you really think about it, right? Did it take you a week, a month, even a year? It probably took you even longer than that to get to where you are now, to establish those unhealthy habits and routines. That happened over time, right? So you can't really expect your body to just flip a switch and be like, all right, brand new person. It's kind of like, the whole new year, new me. I do believe in that if you've kind of set the groundwork for it. But when it comes to going into 2025 or whenever you're watching this, as far as your health and fitness goals go, I would highly encourage you to have realistic expectations, right? When it comes to setting goals, it does help to have a coach, to have somebody kind of looking at your overall picture and saying, all right, realistically, you could aim to lose X amount of pounds, or this should be where we focus on, and things like that. So I'm not going to mention this a ton of times, but I am a coach, and if you need any help, comment below or check out the link below to sign up for the Thrive in 25 program. I would love to help you with your health and fitness goals. So if you need help, you just need to know what a realistic goal for yourself would be, comment below, let's have a conversation. The next pitfall is a lack of a plan, right? You've certainly heard the saying, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail, right? And I know it's corny and hokey, but it is true, right? Once you set those realistic goals and expectations for yourself, the next thing you want to do is kind of reverse engineer them and create a plan for yourself, right? If your end goal is a year from now to feel and look and have a certain number on the scale, or however far away it is, whether it's a month from now or a year from now, work backwards. Okay, so in order to become that person, what habits, what routines, what does that person do every single day in order to attain and sustain those goals, because that's the key to all this. I don't want you to ever have to start over. I just want you to be able to sustain it long term. So once you reverse engineer it, you can say, okay, well, these are the things that that person, that future me does. So what do I need to implement, over the next coming weeks, months, days, to really become that person? And then that leads me to the last point, which I see happen so many times, and it's really unfortunate, is this all or nothing mindset, right? Like, if you didn't accomplish everything on your to-do list on January 1st, well, the whole year's gone, right? Like, if I don't do everything that I set out to tomorrow, well, then the whole week is a wash, and I might as well just start the next Monday. That over and over again, you never actually make progress, and you're never actually able to sustain it, okay? So stop with the all or nothing mindset. If you only got 2 things out of the 10 on your to-do list done today, okay, take the emotion out of it. I got 2 things done, cool. What prevented me from doing the other 8? Was it a lack of planning? Was it a lack of time, a lack of motivation? Assess it and move on for the next day. This isn't an all or nothing thing where you have to be perfect every single day, because honestly, it's kind of an excuse if you think about it. I've got to be perfect. I've got to execute everything perfectly, or it's not worth it. Well, then aren't you giving yourself an out, because inevitably you're not going to do everything perfectly? So then you can say, oh, well, that's why I didn't do the thing. Right? Getting rid of the all or nothing mindset will do wonders for your long-term goals. Now I'm going to tell you exactly what you need to do to achieve and sustain those 2025, or whenever you're watching this, health and fitness goals. And you can apply this to anything else, but specifically health and fitness. The first thing you want to do is, and this doesn't need to take a ton of time, but I do recommend sitting down with yourself and defining your why. Why do you want to lose 30 pounds? Why do you want to be that dress size? Why do you want to run 2 miles? Or why do you want to do or feel or be whatever it is, right? You have to have a why. Otherwise, it's just an arbitrary goal that everyone else is doing. And on the hard days, if you don't have a why, it is going to be that much harder to stick with it. Because I hate to tell you this, there are going to be really hard days. There are going to be days where your motivation is negative, okay? I'm going to let you guys in on a secret. I didn't feel like filming this video. Okay, I almost didn't film this video today. I have about a half an hour before I lose all sunlight, all daylight, okay? And it's my first day back to work. I work a corporate job along with my fitness business. It is cloudy, it is cold, it is gloomy. I just didn't feel like it. But my why is so much bigger than not feeling like it today. My why is tied back to my ultimate calling that I know God has for me around helping people become the healthiest versions of themselves. Write it down somewhere, whether it's, in a journal, in your Bible, on your phone, just have it somewhere where you can refer back to it on those tough days. And then you can always add to it and kind of see where you are and measure progress against it. Now that we have our why, we are going to create that realistic plan, okay? So you're going to go in, like I said, you're going to essentially reverse engineer your goals. Now you have the why tied to it for those hard days, and you're going to create a daily, monthly, quarterly plan for yourself, all right? What does the day look like of the person you are in the future? What time does that person get up? Do they journal in the morning? Do they go to the gym? Do they Bible study? Like whatever it is, how many workouts a week is it going to take for you to do that? Look at your current life, look at the time you have, be honest with yourself, okay? Do not fall into the trap of saying, I'm too busy, I don't have time. Listen, I understand. I have a client who is a full-time nurse, has 2 kids in sports, they do all the things. She's also helps out volunteers at her church, and she still finds time to get workouts in and meal prep and things like that. So everyone's life looks different. I'm not trying to downplay it, but I am going to be honest with you. There are chunks of time that you could dedicate to this if you're determined enough and if your why is big enough. But I'm sure that you could find 3, 4, maybe 5 days a week where you can dedicate 30 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour to a workout. Maybe on Sunday evenings, you take an hour to meal prep or whatever it is, or, look at your week, look at your days, plug it in. And then I'm gonna also let you in on a tidbit. It's gonna take, it's gonna take a bit to iron out the kinks, but stick with it. It probably won't take you more than a week or so to get the kinks out and have a routine in place that moves the needle forward toward those goals long term. Things that, like, in the beginning you're gonna have to really think about doing and checking off are going to become routine, right? We all have routines. Good ones, bad ones, we all have routines, right? But they didn't happen overnight. So stick to it, and those routines will become sustainable habits. And then once they become habits, now it's more of a health and fitness lifestyle. And on the topic of checking things off each and every day, just like having your why written down is super important for you to refer back to, it's also important for you to find a way to track your progress, right? Now, for me and my clients, we use an app. There's habits in there that they can track. We have weekly check-ins. There's nutrition that they can track and see, okay, this is how I'm doing. This is how much protein I've had, or whatever it is. You cannot manage what you do not measure, okay? I understand that measuring and tracking everything in the beginning is going to be tedious, all right? But it will become routine. Check off the steps. Track your macronutrients. If you need help with that, let me know. But, the more that you're tracking, the more then you can look back objectively and say, okay, well, I felt like crap that day, but I got all the things checked off, right? We're not going by feelings, okay? Human, if you're female, we have hormone fluctuations, all of the things, stressors, all outside things we can't control. So going back to measuring and tracking is the most objective way to say, today was a win, today wasn't, this is what I need to do better. And it's repeatable. 2 more things, and then we're wrapping it up. So the next thing, you have your why, you've got your habits, you're tracking everything. You need to find a support system, okay? I understand that when it comes to health and fitness, especially in certain cultures, I grew up Hispanic, prioritizing health and fitness wasn't, high on the agenda. Family members would get offended if you don't finish your plate. I understand there's generational things, depending on the family, you're in and the situation. You might not have everyone kind of cheering you on. People might not understand what you're doing, why you're doing it, all of that, right? Find support, whether that is, hiring a coach or joining a group. I will put the QR code and link below. I have a free Facebook group community called Fit by Steph, where I share resources. We, cheer each other on. People go in there and talk about when they're having low days, high days, all of that. We do live workouts, community stuff. So if you're looking for something like that, definitely join the Fit by Steph community. But whatever that looks like for you, find a support system. Find people or a person, a coach, somebody that you can check in with, that you can celebrate wins with, that you can be vulnerable and say, hey, today wasn't that great. Whatever it is, it doesn't have to be a coach. It can be anybody, as long as at the end of the day, they support your goals. Please, if you want to join the Fit by Steph community, it is totally free. I share tons of resources in there, and it is great to be able to have like-minded people who are also working towards similar goals, to go along this journey with. Now, the last thing I will say, and I'm going to touch on this because I get questions about it a lot when people are especially in the new year, when people are starting their health and fitness goals, it is around supplements, right? And when I say supplements, I'm talking about things that actually supplement and fill the gaps in your nutrition, like protein powder, amino acids, greens for your gut health, that kind of stuff. I'm not talking about fat loss pills or anything like that. I don't believe in any of that. Don't waste your money on things that tell you, if it has an outrageous claim, it probably isn't real, and there's probably a catch to it. So don't waste your money. But do I believe in supplements to help supplement your goals and fill gaps in nutrition? Absolutely. I couldn't hit my protein goal every single day without having my protein coffee and my post-workout protein, right? So when it comes to supplements, I will tell you to be very discerning and to understand that, again, at the end of the day, they're there to supplement the whole foods that you're doing to help you fill the gaps and reach your goals. So if you are looking for supplements that are highly trusted, good quality, that will help you reach your goals, I'll list below the supplements that I take. I've been using these supplements for years. They are staples in my diet. And again, at the end of the day, they help me reach my goals and I fully trust them. To supplement the gaps in your nutrition, right? You shouldn't be living off protein bars, but do I think that having a good high quality protein bar in your work bag is helpful on those busy days? Of course. So if you have questions about supplements, you're not sure what you should be taking or where to start, you can comment below or check the link out to my website. We'll hop on a call and I can answer your questions better. Okay, one final word of encouragement as I finish out this video, right? You can do this, okay? You have done so many things that were hard to do at the time. Just take a step back and kind of brag on yourself. You've gotten through a lot, right? You deserve to be the healthiest version of yourself. That is going to look different for everybody. It doesn't, when I say that, I don't mean a certain pant size or dress size. It doesn't mean a certain number on the scale. It doesn't mean a certain amount of miles ran without stopping. It's going to look different for everybody, all right? So your goals, your why are yours, okay? Do not let anybody tell you that you have to look a certain way or do a certain thing to be considered fit and healthy, okay? We're not taking that into 2025, okay? Or whenever you're watching this, all right? Let that go. At the end of the day, you need to be doing whatever it is to reach your specific goals, to be the healthiest version of yourself, for your family, for your friends, to set an example and to feel your best because you deserve it. So if you do need any coaching or help with your 2025 goals or whenever you're watching this, please reach out. You can comment below and we can have a conversation. You can message me on Instagram. You can click the link below to sign up for the Thrive in 25 program. I have 2 tiers. There's a basic one and there's a VIP one, depending on how much accountability and support you're looking for. And again, join that Facebook group. It is an amazing community. It is totally free. There's a lot of resources in there. Do not go at this alone. Whether you end up hiring a coach or not, join the community. Find like-minded folks who want to be healthy long-term, to build those sustainable habits because you deserve it, all right? So with that, I'm going to end this video. And do not forget, you gotta faith it till you make it.